guys, I hope everyone would have gone through this week's coding question. So the first question is like you have to print a particular pattern. So when you analyze the pattern, it will be like the first row will have one, and the second row will be have numbers up to two, and the third row will be having numbers up to three, and it will be reversed it up, and the fourth row will have numbers up to four, and it will be in the reverse order then. So as you can see, there will be n number of rows as per given by the user. So let us now implement this using Python first, then we'll go into C. So first I'm gonna get the integer value from the user, that is input, and then I'm gonna iterate to the for loop from 1 to n plus 1. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I have to print the spaces. So when you analyze, like there will be n minus I spaces, so I'm gonna print these spaces, and since I have to make the cursor in the same line, I'm giving end, and then I'm gonna split up two parts. The first is like from 1 to, and the second part will be like the reversing part. So for that, let me just give a for loop called j in range of let's say 1 comma I. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna print j over here and giving end. So there's no space between the integers, so I don't need to give space in end. And then I'm gonna have the second for loop that is to print the integers in the reverse manner. For that I'm gonna give for j in range of let's say I comma 0 comma minus 1. Okay, so it will be stopping up to 1, it doesn't include 0. So I'm gonna print this j and n is equal, yeah. So out of this all, I'm gonna make the cursor to the next line. So let us now check that it's run perfect. So let me give 5 as an input. So yeah, we are getting the correct output. So you can just take out with any other random integers. So I'm gonna implement the same logic in C language. Let me just change the comment. So we need header files like, let me just scroll down a bit. We need header files like stdio.h for this, and I don't think we don't need much than that. Yeah. So then I'm gonna implement the main function and initialize some variables called n, I, and j. So I'm gonna get the integer n from the user. So the first for loop will be iterating to the number of rows. As I said in our previous coding, like the outer for loop stands for the number of rows, and the inner for loop stands for the integers in each row, right? So for I is equal to 1, I is less than or equal to n, I plus plus. So the innermost will be like j is equal to 0, and I need to print the spaces first, right? So j is equal to 0, j is lesser than n minus I, and j plus plus. Then I want to print the spaces. So the next thing is like for j is equal to 1, j is lesser than I, and j plus plus, and printf would be it'll be like j, yeah. So next thing I'm gonna print the reverse thing. So for j is equal to I, j is lesser than, greater than 0, and j minus minus. So printf of j, and out of this I'm gonna print the next line. pretty much done. So I'll just run it up and check. Yeah, it works perfect. So you can just check out with the other integers. So let me just go into the second program. Sorry. So the second program is like you'll be given an in string as an input. It will be like generally a line of text. It can have spaces in between too. So you need to identify all the integers in the particular string and you need to print the sum of all the integers. Okay. Um, so let us now implement this. It works pretty much easy. So let me just get the string in a variable called a. Okay. So and then I'm gonna print the sum, right? So let us say variable called s is equal to 0. I'm gonna iterate to the string that is for I in range of len of a. You can also give for I in a and you can just check it out with each character. So you can go the other way too. Okay. So if a of I, we have a built-in function called isDigit in Python. So it basically checks whether the particular character is a integer or not, that is a number or not. Okay, if it is a number, I'm gonna add that particular number to the variable called s. So it is a string, right? We have got the string. You cannot add up a string to a number. For that, I'm gonna typecast it to the integer type. And out of all these, I'm gonna print the s value. So it's pretty much easy when you understand the logic and the the built-in function. So I'm gonna get the first test case. Sorry, just paste it. Yeah, it works fine. So if it is a constraint like you should not use any built-in function, here you can check it out like if int of a of I is greater than or equal to greater than 0, greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 9, you can check like that. Your condition can be like that, so that if there is a constraint that you should not use any inbuilt functions. Okay. So I'm gonna change the comment and let me just implement the same in C language. Okay. Yeah. So for this we need a header files like * include stdio.h and * include string.h for string manipulation and * include c type for h. Since we are dealing up with strings, we need these two header files in addition. Okay. So then I'm gonna implement the main function. So I'm gonna declare a character array called a for that. And since that is a constraint, like there can be space in between the particular input given by the user, you need to add a constraint in your scanf that you have to get the particular input until there is no next line cursor. Okay, so this constraint you're gonna add it in your scanf and we'll be getting the character array, and n will hold the length of the particular character array, and integer s is equal to 0. This will hold up the sum, and we need a variable called I for loops. So for I is equal to 0 and I is lesser than n and I plus plus. Okay, so we have a built-in function called isDigit, same in C2, but the syntax is different here. If isDigit of a of I, then I'm gonna add up this. So here too I'm gonna typecast it and a of I minus 48 because it considers the ASCII value of the particular integer. This won't return the particular number itself. It will return the ASCII value of the particular character. So I'm gonna minus 48 to get the exact answer. So this is a kind of additional step in C we got to do. I'm gonna finally print the uh, sum. So let us now check with the second test case. Let me just copy it. Yeah, it works pretty much fine. So the additional steps, like you need to in C, it won't consider when you typecast it to int, it won't consider the perfect number value, it will consider the ASCII value of the particular character. So you need to subtract some value to in order to get the particular number. So that's a kind of an additional step you got to use in C. And also, like, you need to constrain your scanf function. So yeah guys, I'm pretty much done with the two questions. So if you have any doubts, you can reach out to our discussion forum. Thank you.